Love you.
The world is burning, and the world of pop culture is burning in a more fun way. And Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's marriage is also burning. So Ben Affleck moved his stuff out of the home that he shares with J-Lo, that they bought like 1 year into their fucking like manic episode of a marriage. Jennifer Lopez went on vacation to Europe with her friends, and while she was on vacation, Ben did the classic move of moving all of his stuff out of the house while she was gone. So it doesn't seem great. Doesn't seem great for them.
But he's still wearing his wedding ring. I think I read somewhere. Like there's
Still
like
wearing his wedding ring.
maybe they are just separating and they're gonna just like live apart, but try to like maybe make it work that way.
I mean,
But by the way, you have a $65 million mansion. Like he could just move to the guest house. They have plenty of space to get like separation physically.
and they're trying to sell the mansion too. Like they bought it for 60 million. They're trying to sell it for 65, like quietly. Like, yeah, and photographers got Ben leaving the home on Sunday night, and he angrily chewed them out for taking so many pictures of him while he was organizing moving out.
Maybe what they're doing is like an orchestrated separation, and then they'll like announce the official split like on like Labor
Double
Day,
album.
like Labor Day weekend. They'll try to do it like on a Friday, like when you know how people do that when they want to bury news.
Yeah, it's just like they fucked it up so badly at this point if they wanted it to not be a big story. Like there's been like 25 different TMZ news items. Like they're moving their stuff out of the house. They hate each other. There's like blah, blah, blah. Like all this shit. Like
Well, it's never not going to be a big story when Bennifer 2.0 breaks up. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to like.
I mean, you're right. It's one of the few pop culture stories that like you're kind of on to, like you get it.
It transcends generations, right? This is like recoupling of like a celebrity couple that was like the biggest celebrity couple 20 years ago or whatever it was. But I feel bad for him. I feel sad. Like
I feel bad. I feel bad for him almost all the time somehow. Like I just feel sad for the guy, even though he's got a blessed life and I have no reason to feel bad for him. I just look at his face and I'm like, oh, poor guy.
I feel bad for both. I mean, in a way, I guess Jennifer Lopez has like
I don't feel bad for her. She's like a huge bitch. I've heard many stories from people who I know personally who've had to work with her and just had total nightmare situations.
But just like to reboot this relationship and to kind of do it in a public facing way. Like, didn't they do a documentary together or something like that? And they were like,
they had like it was like an episode. Like they had a manic episode. Like it was like not just like we're quietly getting back together kind of thing. It was like we're back together. It's a PR thing. Like everybody knows about it. Like we're gonna be like all over TMZ or whatever. He's grabbing my ass on a boat, and then a year later, like, oh, we're selling the mansion. We're out. Like we're getting divorced. Nobody look at us. Like
didn't they get married in Las Vegas too? They just did. Oh
my god! Of course they did. Of course, that makes so much sense. It's just like the classic, like, oh, we fucked up marriage wise.
Yeah, but then that's the thing is that like.
Were they on cocaine? Like what? Like were they on drugs? Like how does this happen?
I think it's just like you say. It's like mania. It's like I'm sure they probably reconnected and they had both. Like I think she was coming off another ended relationship or divorce of some kind, and like they reconnect and they're sort of finding solace in one another, and there's a familiarity, and then they sort of like fall back into an intimate relationship, and everything's probably really good for like a few months or a while. But then
it's really bad.
But then, yeah, when it turns, it's like, fuck.
Because it like turns from like being like like we had like a nice time together, like the sex was good, like we had fun, like whatever, into like, oh, now I remember why we broke up in the first place.
That's what I mean. So it's like, and I think it's like a double anger. It's like you did this to me again. Like we had the same issues again, and we went through all of this, and now this is happening again. But then I think it's also probably. There's got to be like some self-loathing for both of them. Like, what have I done? I can't believe I did this to myself again. Like, that's where I honestly feel bad. You know, human beings, like, we are flawed and we make these decisions. We're doing the best we can, and it just fucking blew up.
I mean, Jesus, they I wonder like which one of them was like first like this is not working, we gotta end it, or if it was just mutually like, oh, like fuck you, we're out. Like no, like
I mean, I think that I'm just that's total guess. I have no idea, but I'm guessing it was probably him, like that
yeah,
to
that's my guess too.
to broach it. But I'm sure they started fighting and like you could see it, right? They'd be, like, going to get cup that one where he, like, that one video I saw where he's, like they're leaving Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, and he goes to open the door for her, and she gets in, and he just, like, slams the door. Or, like, the way that he shut the door was like, he's so over it, and, maybe I'm misinterpreting, but that's sure how it seemed, and you could just
Yeah.
read the body language. It seemed pretty obvious that they weren't happy, right?
Yeah, they did not seem happy. They seemed happy for like maybe two photos entire, like that's it. Like they seemed happy for about two photos.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so this is gonna spiral a little bit, but, like, bear with me, and, like, this is, like, me, like, armchair psyching, so take it with a grain of salt, but, like, I think there has to be, with this relationship in Ben, for example, like, this feeling of, "Oh god, I fucked up." Like, he had to have realized at a certain point that, like, if indeed they are splitting, right, as it looks
Yeah.
like all indications, would seem to point to a split. He had to have realized at a certain point, like a while ago, like, "Oh my god, I made a big mistake."
Yeah.
And so then you're still in it and on the surface, everything's fine, but it's coming. Like, it's like an untenable situation and you erred in your judgment again. And so you have to be carrying around like the weight of that. And it's like a combination of what? Like self-loathing, even guilt, because they have kids. Like to do this, like where you have this big
Yeah.
showy relationship and we got married and then to have it all just implode, that's gotta suck. And so here's where I'm gonna spiral.
Mhm.
Like, I sometimes read, like, Brad Pitt and his descent, like, into bad behavior and substance abuse, like, really intense substance abuse, it sounds like, at the end of the Angelina Jolie relationship. Like, there's a part of me that wonders if he was in that relationship and got super involved in it, and there's, like, what, 6 kids or whatever. But then, like, there were problems and realization that, like, this isn't working and, like, this isn't right. And, oh my god, like, I left Jennifer Aniston because I was seduced by this woman, and it's like, I left this good thing, and now I'm, like, in this big mess, right, with, like, 6 children.
Yeah, men love to do that. They love to be like, "Oh, I left like my ex-girlfriend. Now I've been with this woman for 10 years and we had 6 children, but I miss my ex-girlfriend. Oh
Yeah,
no."
but I'm just saying that, like, maybe part of like, the spiral into really intense substance abuse was trying to, like, anesthetize the pain of that realization. Is that, like am I reaching too much?
No, but I think it's like that's like, the pain of that realization comes to Angelina too, right? Like that's like on both ends, I think. It's like the pain of the realization of like, oh, this isn't working.
But she
And then you
didn't
start
she
thinking
didn't
about past
leave. Yeah,
relationships.
yeah, fair enough, but she didn't leave a marriage to go off to be with him. Like, she was not I don't think she was. She wasn't married to Billy Bob when they started dating.
No, no, she wasn't.
She was single. She was single,
Yeah,
and they met or they really started hooking up on the set of that, movie they did
yeah,
together.
on the set of that movie. I mean, I'm not one to be like I think that might be what Brad Pitt thinks, but I think he's like deeply stupid for thinking that because it's like it's not like somebody can just seduce you out of a marriage and like you have no say in the matter. Like clearly he
Yeah, that's right. He's not a
does it,
victim. He no, he
you
but I
know?
think I think that's what I'm saying though, is that, like, he's realizing that he erred, and, like, that part of it is maybe, like, the most painful part. It's not just like, "Oh, this woman,
Realizing that the relationship is wrong for you. Like
yeah, that he's just like, "Oh, I misread this, and I" you
then
know
imagine how bad the realization is for Angelina realizing the relationship is wrong for her by like getting a fist to the face, like that's like
yeah,
really bad.
and also, like, signing legal documents binding like, making him the father of all of her kids.
Yeah.
So, because like, he's biologically the father of what, at least 2 of them, but,
Yeah.
what a mess. And, it's like I think on a human level, I think it's just sad, and I think, like, you wish the best for people. Like, I don't like to, like, dance
It's
on
sad for
people.
the kids, it's sad for the wife, like, it's not, like
Yeah.
I'll dance on actual graves. Like if Barbara Bush dies, I'll be like, fuck yeah. I mean, she is dead already, you know. But like when Henry Kissinger died, I was like, yeah, let's fucking party in the street. Like fucking, I'm gonna piss on that grave. Like you know, fucking like, let's go find Margaret Thatcher's grave. I'll spit on it. Like you know.
Would
But
you really though? Would you really piss on Henry Kissinger's grave? I guess if
absolutely, yeah. Given the chance, if I was not gonna get arrested or whatever, 100%. I would have someone take a photo of me doing it. I'd frame it in my room and I would give a copy of it to everybody I'm related to and every friend I've ever had. I would frame a copy of it and give it to you so that you could have it in your house.
that would be it would receive like prime placement in my living room.
Well,
Pure
that's good to know. See,
picture.
where someone tell me where Henry Kissinger is buried. I'm ready to piss on it.
I mean, yeah. I think of like the Hunter Thompson wrote some, what is it called? Like an obituary for Richard Nixon that was just unsparing. It's like the model for like just like a ruthless, you know, assessment of somebody right after they've died if they've lived like an unsavory kind of life, but unethical
I
kind of
mean,
life.
my feeling is no respect for the dead. If they didn't deserve it in life, they don't deserve it in death.
Yeah, sometimes it gets too people get soft like, hey, he died. He committed genocide, but he died, or you know what I'm
Yeah, he's
saying?
a
Like,
war criminal, so that's good that he's dead and like I'll see him in hell, you know. Like
right.
when I see him in hell, it's, you know, time to throw hands.
All right. Well, here's hoping that Jennifer finds like some human happiness, like whatever, you know. I don't know what to say about it. I hope it all goes smoothly.
Yeah, God, I guess same. I don't know.
Is
Two very
she
sad people.
Yeah, I think is she gonna get married? She's gonna get married again. She's never gonna stop. This is like
I
she'll
hope she never stops. I feel like that would be the coolest thing about her if she went like Elizabeth Taylor style and just had like 9 ex-husbands like that. Like I could be like, okay, that's kind of cool, Jennifer. Like fair.
Is that how many Elizabeth Taylor had? She had 9?
I don't know. I just said that off the top of my head, but should we see how many ex-husbands?
Yeah.
You want to guess?
I'm gonna say 7.
Okay, let's see. Taylor. 8.
8.
Close.
Okay. So 8. I feel like I don't know how many Jennifer Lopez has had. 4 or 5 at least.
She's on her way.
So she's on her way.
For her.
And I think if she lives a full life, like 8 is within her reach. Because
She
don't.
could do 9. You know, she could do 10 if she wanted to.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think she's like my guess is that she's never going to be able to be in a healthy relationship with somebody that lasts because it just seems like some people aren't wired for it or don't have like it's probably really hard to be in a relationship with her is just my read on it.
Yes, I mean, with any famous person, I think it's hard, and especially with one who's like so clearly a severe narcissist, the way that J-Lo is.
Yeah, who knows?
Like really into being famous, you know, in like a gross way.
Yeah, that's a red flag if somebody's like really into being famous.
Yeah, it's like one thing to be like good at it, or like, I mean, famous people are weird. I don't understand them fully, and I don't know if I can ever really get along with one. But like, famous people, I guess they can be happy, but like it's only ever with other famous people, it feels like. You know, like they never like they can't really have a whole relationship with somebody who isn't another famous person. And then you have like famous people who are really into being famous, and then famous people who like got famous from doing something they love, and those feel like two very different things too. Whereas like even like a Beyonce or something, right, who loves being famous, got that way because she loves making music. Jennifer Lopez, you could argue, got where she is because she loves acting and music. But is that really what she loves, or does she love like having eyes on her? The fact that she's still famous to this day, despite not having a single hit since Jenny from the Block and not having a single like really good movie role since maybe Selena, like I don't know, man.
Well, wait, what didn't she have she had a good role in that like stripper movie? Right? Like wasn't that like
It's like
critically
a fine
acclaimed?
role. It was like a small role.
Yeah, I forget the name of that movie. But what I wonder is like are famous people weird because they got famous or were they weird to begin with and then became famous? Do you know what I'm saying? Like I kind of feel
It's
like
a chicken and egg situation.
I feel like it's the fame and the money that I think people are normal and then the pressures of fame and like lots and lots of money like warp their view of reality.
Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on the person. I think being famous warps your view of reality 100%, like in the weirdest fucking way. Like it's so fucking weird. And I think that sometimes the people who get there are weird to begin with, and like people who were really seeking fame to begin with. and that's weird on its own. But I think sometimes you do get like what you're saying, where you get somebody who's like relatively normal and then they become famous, and it's like very hard to not let the trappings of fame make you completely insane.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
so
think
they become insane.
it's the downside. I mean, I guess you got to figure it out. If you're a smart person, you have some good people around you, you can find your way through it, I guess. But
Yeah.
even then, it just does some weird thing to your life that like isn't necessarily good. I guess that's the cost of it, right? You get a lot of positives from it too, but
Like money and whatever. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. It kills people, you know? Like it's like so weird that it kills people. Like they can't handle it to
yeah.
that degree. And that's like fucking scary.
Well, good thing we're not famous, Mira. Thank God.
Yeah, thank God, you know, and don't anybody ever listen to our podcast so much that we get famous, because we would hate that.
Do you think we would? I feel like I'm old enough that I would just be like, whatever. Like
No,
but
I don't think I'd really care that much.
I mean, yeah, I guess we say that, but I mean, maybe we're
It'd be
fools.
good to have the money. It'd be good to have like the financial stability, you know?
Maybe we would maybe I would become like Howard Hughes. Like I would never leave my garage. People would have to slide like plates of food into the
I feel like
garage.
I'm already almost there. It's basically already me.
Yeah, I'll just have like one of those like what do you call it? Like sponge baths. It'd be like just
Just
complete.
like jugs of piss.
Yeah, that's right. Just peeing into bottles. That's my future. If this thing blows up.
Or not, you
Or
know.
not. Or not. Yeah, either way I'm going down that path. But what else is happening?
Well, so Taylor Swift played yet another Eras Tour concert in Dublin.
Is this ever going to end? She's just never going to stop, right? It's just Eras
Well, she
forever.
recently announced that it was going to end in December officially, which is the first time she's ever had an official end date for it. I think we kind of all thought like it was going to be a forever tour.
When is
But
Vancouver? Is she playing in Vancouver? Do you know when that is?
I don't know when that is, but I think it's towards the end of the tour.
Yeah,
Why are you going to go?
No, my sister's going. She's a huge Swiftie, my little sister.
Oh, she's going to have so much fun.
She drank the Kool-Aid like about a year ago and just started telling me about it. And then like now it's like she's a Chiefs fan and the whole thing. You know, she went all in.
Is she a Gaylor?
What does that mean?
People who think Taylor Swift is gay?
I don't think so. I think she probably believes in the Travis love story.
I mean, so do I, but like I think Taylor Swift is also a little fruity.
That's okay.
You know. Thank you.
Yeah.
So she played a show in Dublin, and Julia Roberts was there, who apparently is Irish. I didn't know.
By the way, I don't know if you're feeling this, but like, is every fucking person in my social media feed vacationing in Europe except for me? Like, what is going on? It's like this new thing where it's like, oh yeah, I've got to be seen like somewhere in Europe, like flaunting my good fortune. Like,
I mean, maybe people are just trying to like escape America, like trying to be like, all right, this shit's fucked here. We gotta like, let's go to Ireland. Like,
yeah.
I mean, of all the places to live outside the U.S., Ireland seems good. I like Ireland. I've never been there, but I like it.
It seems nice. They have that little tiny president. I loved him. I don't know if he's still
with the corgis.
He just looks like a little sweet man. I just want to, yeah.
Just want to pat him on the head.
Yeah.
So Julia Roberts, for some reason, was in Dublin. I guess she's Irish. I don't know. And she was in the VIP tent with Travis Kelce. And so I saw this video of her in the VIP tent with Travis Kelce, and like the headline here reads, Taylor Swift fans blast Julia Roberts' handsy interaction with uncomfortable Travis Kelce at Dublin concert. I wouldn't say that he was uncomfortable.
Where was she touching him?
She was touching him like on the shoulder. It was like a very like mom style, like, oh, I'm like touching you on the shoulders here, or like maybe like right here, just saying like, you know, like hello. Like he's such a big guy. She's like, touching his shoulders like this or whatever. And you can hear her mouth like, I'm so happy for you guys about him and Taylor. Like,
oh, okay.
And to me, it just really felt like a very like mom style interaction of her just like, you know, like holding you and like being handsy, but not in a sexual way. Like just in like, I'm so happy for you guys. Like, that's so nice for you. Like, kind of thing. She was being very overly effusive and very, you know, nice about it. But
yeah, this is but the Swifties went nuts. Like they don't want anyone touching him.
I mean, I guess I can see where if you saw this without any context or without like understanding that like Julia Roberts and Taylor Swift like have been friends and like, you know, things like that, like, and that like, you know, this is how like moms fucking touch people. Like it's like a mom thing.
I
I
mean,
guess I could see where like they thought maybe she was being too handsy or something, but like I mean, come on, she's almost 60. He's like 30. It's
right.
like calm down.
That's
Like
it's
it's
not
not
happening. And by
he's
the
like
way, it's not like
a
she was like,
million feet taller than her. Like she wasn't like attacking him. Like
no, she doesn't seem the type to do that. So she's married, she's got kids, she's not doing that. And she's 60, like you said, she's old.
yeah,
So
it was like clearly like a like grandma style touchiness of being like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you. Like you guys did that so nice." You know, like it was not a it didn't seem inappropriate to me personally.
I'm a little freaked out by how, like, what an angry bunch and defensive and like ready to attack bunch the Swifties are. They're ready to come after you for any fucking transgression that they deem worthy.
It's kind of my favorite part of like the Swifties, and also like why I try to not identify too closely with them because they scared the shit out of me. But like, I do feel like there's very, how do I even put this? I feel like in music, there was once a time where scaring people was something culturally valuable, right? Like you have like a Nina Simone even, or like a Billie Holiday, or like a, and these people can't really be compared to Taylor Swift, obviously, but like a Amy Winehouse or something, somebody who's like truly unpredictable and truly scary in a way that like lends to their performances and their music, and like in a way that is like interesting. I think that the Swifties have like added that onto Taylor Swift in a way that she otherwise never would have it, where like she is not a scary person. Like I mean she is, but like she's not like, you know, scary in the way where like, is she gonna overdose on stage? Is she gonna attack somebody? Like, is she gonna like, you know, have a physical altercation? But her fans are scary in that way. Her fans are like potentially gonna have an altercation. They're gonna dox you online. They're gonna fucking like I send you like send the fucking SWAT team to your house if you like, you know, do a leak or something like that. And like I watching from afar cannot help but find it kind of funny how effectively terrifying online they are. Like
Well,
they
but why are
really
they
fear
like
the
this?
wall.
Why are they like this?
I guess because like I don't know. I mean, I think all fandoms are kind of scary, and I think like the K-pop fandom can be like a good comparison in terms of like fandoms like working together as a group to like get really scary things done. Um, and like I you know, and like nice things or whatever, but I mean, I don't know. I think there was like a long time where, you know, people were very anti Taylor Swift or very pro, like it was like very like with the Kanye thing and the Kim thing or whatever. Like there was like a minute there where it was like fuck Taylor Swift, or like if you liked her it was like why, like she's like a bitch, like whatever the fuck. And something about that like invigorated people. Like that moment is when the Swifties turned from like regular fan base to like, okay, it's time to attack. Like, okay, we're on the defense now and it's time to fucking like get these assholes. Like, we're gonna fuck them up. Like, one of my favorite Swiftie interactions was somebody who was just saying some really like sexist, gross shit about Taylor Swift. And this girl responded and was like, all right, if you guys are gonna be assholes, like I saw a preview of the new Avengers movie and Iron Man dies. And everyone's just like, what the fuck? Like you spoiled the whole Avengers movie for
Wait, did
everybody.
Iron Man die?
Yeah.
He did?
Yeah.
How did Iron Man die? He's Iron Man.
I have no fucking idea, dude. Like
Yeah, fuck
head
that.
chopped off. I mean, how do any of these fucking people die? Like, I don't know how Marvel movies work.
Yeah, I don't like Marvel movies. I'm sorry. I
No,
don't get it.
they
If you
fucking suck.
Yeah, they're such bullshit. But
They're boring.
all right. Well, I'm scared of the Swifties. I don't want any
Same.
part of them coming after me, and I just
Yeah, they're frightening.
keep them at arm's length. But what else is happening out there?
So now this, I must admit, I only read the headline of this, but I think that it's probably enough. Another one of my favorite news topics, Andy Cohen. Andy Cohen, who like kind of famously asks really inappropriate questions of famous people, and like that's kind of like why he's famous. Like he's able to say really inappropriate shit to people in a way that's like pretty funny. But Andy Cohen said he regrets asking Oprah Winfrey if she's ever had sex with a woman. I I don't know why he regrets it. So while celebrating this week, he celebrated 15 years of Watch What Happens Live, which is his interview reality show that he does on Bravo. And so he had a bunch of guests on there, whatever. and he revealed that one of his few regrets was in 2013 asking Oprah Winfrey if she's ever dipped a toe in the lady pond, is what he said, or taken a dip in the lady pond, rather. Sorry. And Oprah responded, no, I have not. Thank you. Andy Cohen said, this is a huge moment for me in the show. I don't know why he regrets it. I'm such a fan of Oprah, but ultimately, Cohen became swept up in the fun of things and asked the media mogul the question despite his better judgment. It meant so much to me that Oprah Winfrey did the show. It's gone brilliantly, and I turn around and I ask her if she's ever had sex with a woman. I mean, could I leave it alone? So I guess he's just embarrassed in retrospect that he like asked Oprah if she's fucked women before.
I mean, it feels like the kind of like thing where once you do something like that to Oprah, like you're done. Like she will never forgive you. And it's probably, she has enough power, I would imagine, that it's the kind of thing that could potentially fuck him over in his career in some way, like some kind of meaningful
But like
way.
it never did. This was 10 years ago.
Well, I mean, he's doing great, but I'm just saying that like having her as like an enemy, like I'm sure
Right.
they
He's trying to like make good with her by like saying like that was weird or something in
yeah.
public.
I mean, at this point, they probably wind up at the same social function sometimes. Like, who knows? But
Yeah.
I feel like honestly, from like a purely like pop culture standpoint, it's like the question that a lot of people want to know the answer to about Oprah. Like
Yeah.
her sexuality has been a fascination to people for a long time because she's in this marriage with Stedman, right? She's married to Stedman.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I even ask it like that, I don't like, because like it's like sometimes you see them together, but she sort of seems like she's living alone, but then Gail's hanging out a lot, and it's like
It's confusing. And I think Andy Cohen kind of like made his career out of like being the person who's willing to ask those questions, you know, like that nobody else will ask. Like, are you gay? Like, I think there's like, you know, a reason why certain people haven't been on the show because he's so willing to ask questions that like their PR people probably said don't ask.
yeah, that's right.
But I guess, you know, you got to kiss the ring when it comes to Oprah if you're an interview show. Otherwise, potentially bad. I don't know.
Yeah, if she gets mad at you,
You're
if you
fucked if she just gets mad at you.
if you transgress against Oprah, I feel like it's like there's no second chances. That's
No.
that's the vibe I get.
Yeah, it's all over if you transgress against Oprah.
Yeah, well, like I'm scared. I'm scared of the Swifties. I'm scared of Oprah. This episode is filling me with fear. These are just the people I'm terrified of.
I'm more scared of the Swifties than I am of Oprah, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think Oprah, like I feel like Oprah would have to have pretty good reason.
Yeah.
But I feel like the
Go after you.
Swifties need just like a hint, like a whisper of a
They don't
reason.
need any. Yeah, they just need like an idea of a reason, and they'll fucking kill you.
They'll come after you, like just and it's also the mob. Like Oprah's one person, but like the
Right.
Swifties, it's like a you know, it's like knocking over like a wasp's nest or something, and they just come
Oprah
after you.
doesn't have a fandom like that that's gonna like defend her either, right? Like if she's like, I need my fandom to go after this person, like they're not gonna immediately be like, yes, okay, let's go after this person because she doesn't have like Swifties the way that Taylor Swift
Yeah,
does.
like who does have like what celebrity does have an army of people ready to militarize on her behalf or his
Most
behalf?
pop stars, it's just that they're not as intense as the Swifties. Like you have the Arianators, you have like the Barbs, you have the fucking
Bayhive.
the Bayhive. Exactly, you have it's the Beehive, Brad.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. But it is really fucking intense. Like I don't get it at all.
It's really intense. It's like it's very intense, and yet you go to like a Taylor Swift show, and it's just like nice little girls handing out bracelets and like being kind to each other
Yeah, until you cross the line and then they turn
until
on
you
you.
cross the line.
You're running down like a long hallway at some arena, like being chased. It's like my nightmare.
Yeah, is that a dream you've had, bro?
Yeah, they're gonna cannibalize me. Just like
At the Taylor Swift
just
show.
leave my bones just like to rot outside in the stadium parking lot.
Oh man.
Okay, so what else? Where are we at? We just so Oprah, I don't know, but you know, it's like it's Oprah's personal business. I don't care one way or another, but I
Do you
think
think
it's
she's being
like
honest though
what?
about not ever having dipped her toe in the lady pond?
No, I think she probably has, but what do
I
I
mean,
know?
she probably has.
Just seems that way, but like it's just pure vibes. I have no evidence at all.
Yeah.
It's not my business. Andy Cohen, I mean, I think at the time he talked to Oprah, probably had like that established sort of brand of being like the guy that could ask any question, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was new suddenly and he did this to
No.
Oprah as like a surprise. So if she doesn't want to be asked that question, don't go on Andy
Don't go
Cohen's
on the
show.
show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of celebrities who haven't because they don't want to be asked those questions. Like,
incidentally, that is why Oprah will not do our show, because
that's right.
she doesn't want to be cornered, and
She's scared.
she's scared of us, I feel like.
Scared of our journalistic prowess and, you know, willingness to get right to the issues.
I think there is some currency. Like, I get that like people should have some reasonable boundaries, but like, I don't know, man. It's like the boundaries are always on their terms. Oprah shares so much about her personal life on her show over the years and has sort of opened herself up. And then to suddenly like get really pissed off when somebody asks like, "Oh, you know, what's your relationship situation? Who are you into? Are you into women?"
I mean, weirdly, like, she didn't seem to get pissed off. Andy Cohen was just like, I regret it. I feel like she must have, like, made it clear afterwards that, like, they didn't like that question or something, because
That's right. I mean, she knows
otherwise, like,
she's not gonna freak out on the air. She's a pro. She's not gonna.
yeah, she just said, like, no, I haven't, thank you.
And then, but see, this is the thing. And then, like a month later, like a dead fish arrives on his door. Who knows? I'm just telling you. Like, here's an anecdote, and of course, I have like a literary anecdote to share. But Studs Terkel, you know Studs Terkel, like the famous like American interviewer. I want to say he won the National Book Award for his book about World War II, which is like just interviews that he did with veterans. And he's like a famous Chicago area, like raconteur, radio personality, author, all around mensch, like sort of a beloved figure and just like a garrulous, like he lived to be like 100, blah, blah, blah. But
Jesus.
the biggest mistake he said he ever made in his career was early on turning down an invitation to appear on Oprah's show. Because she was a Chicago person, right? She shot her show in Chicago and lived
This was
in.
like Oprah wasn't that famous yet or something?
Yeah, I mean, it was early. It was like to the point where Studs Terkel didn't really fully understand her, who she was, or part of that was probably his age and cultural situation, but like part of it was maybe just that it was early. I don't know exactly when this happened, but it was earlier. She never forgot it, and she never invited him onto her show subsequently.
Wow.
Which
So she holds a grudge.
but yeah, I sort of get it as the host of a show. Like if I invite somebody onto my show, and especially if it happens multiple times and they say no, it's like, okay, fine.
Yeah, all right. You don't want it. Bye.
Yeah,
See ya.
fuck you. You're not coming on my show ever. When you come back and you want to be on my show, it's going to be a big fat no.
Unless it's like a really famous author, in which case it's like an open invitation.
No. Then I will exercise my power. The door is closed. I don't forgive. No, I don't. I don't know. I'm joking, but it's like I feel like it's natural. He turns you down, and you're like, okay. It's like then you have a chance later on when you have like some success. And she's like this big, you know, she's Oprah, and he comes back, and his agent comes back and is like, hey, can Studs come on the show? She's gonna be like, sorry, fuck you. I get that.
I'm kind of a pro at holding grudges, and so I get that, but at the same time, I almost feel like it might be like a more powerful move to be like, yeah, okay, come on the show, and then be like, so you didn't want to do the show back in the day, like what happened there? Like why? Like just while he's on air. I feel like that's what I would do.
Yeah, just make him say sorry and just like bend the knee, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, like I'm Oprah now, bitch. Like
she's
something
good.
I've always wanted to do is to go to like a Barnes and Noble or whatever big bookstore with just like a stack of Oprah's book club stickers and just stick them on all kinds of random shit. Just like
stick them on.
Go around the store, just fucking put
stick
it on
them
the
on my
Bible.
books. Put them on my books. Make
put
sure
them on Brad's books.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I should. That's a good prank to pull. It wouldn't be that hard to make up some Oprah. I mean, because people don't know what Oprah's book club sticker looks like. I mean,
also you could copy it exactly really easily.
That's right. Okay. Well, hopefully this will become a viral phenomenon. If people listening.
If anyone does that, please, let us know. We'll shout you out.
All right. What else is going on, Mira?
Well, let's see. So this is a quick update on the Hawk Tuah girl. I apologize for sirens in the background. So the Hawk Tuah girl has seen great success since we've last mentioned her. Just for a reminder, the Hawk Tuah girl is the one who was asked in a street interview, how do you satisfy a man? And she said, you pull a Hawk Tuah and spit on that dick.
Spit on that thing. She, yeah. I don't even know if we need to really describe. I feel at this point, Hawk Tuah is just a household name.
Yeah.
She's gone from a complete nobody to being a just on a first name.
It's a household name.
Yeah, in a
And
matter of weeks.
so I guess a country singer named Zach Bryan. Have you ever heard of this guy?
Not once.
No fucking idea. But he brought her out on stage to perform at a stop in Nashville.
She
I
sang?
guess. Yeah, she sang, I guess. I guess she gave a loud Hawk Tuah to the audience.
That's embarrassing. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you going to do if that's how you made your
Get the
name?
money, like right now it's like, okay, you're going viral for this thing, like get that bag while you can, I guess. But it does feel weird and kind of like, okay, how long is that going to last for her really?
But I mean, it's kind of more embarrassing for this country guy, Zach Bryan. Why are you bringing Hawk Tuah onto your stage to say Hawk Tuah during a musical concert?
Some misguided PR person was like, it's gonna be funny, bring her out on stage. Like,
maybe, I guess she's probably a fan. Maybe they knew she was a fan, and it's like, let's just have some fun.
Probably her management like hit them up, and he's like, all right, sure, why not, or whatever. But
I'm all for fun. I feel like what they should do, because I felt like when I watched that clip of the like original Hawk Tuah, like the deep cut, that she, like, as a person on the street interview kind of person, or maybe like a red carpet interviewer.
Yeah, she could be really funny.
Like, she could be funny doing that. She seems like she's like a good time and like has some wit and like that kind of Southern charm. But like, I don't know if like getting up on stage at a concert and shouting Hawk Tuah at the audience is, I mean, I guess I don't want to see her. I don't want to see Hawk Tuah become like just a total punchline. She could easily.
I mean, charity is, I guess. But like, I think you're right that like a better career switch or career move for her would be like going into like being like a red carpet commentator at the Country Music Awards,
Did I really just say I don't want Hawk Tuah girl to become a punchline?
Like, what do you think she is right now?
That's right. The whole thing is a punchline. Her entire existence is a punchline. The whole thing.
Hawk Tuah fit on that thing.
No, I think I don't know. I just think like it's got to be really weird and destabilizing to go from being like a total civilian and then like going out with your friend and having some drinks in Nashville on like a Friday night, and then 10 days later literally being a global celebrity because of some stupid shit you said while you were drunk. Like,
I mean, it must be so weird. Like, it must feel so strange.
So
like,
strange. And like,
I didn't even know at first that video had like gone viral or whatever. Someone probably had to tell her, and then it was like, oh shit. Like,
and it's also like, there's a part of me, like the cynical part of me is like, this is how sick and twisted our culture is, that like this is how the sort of stuff that gets a person famous. Like, it is a weird culture we live in when this kind of viral video creates like this level of sensation. Like, I don't know.
It's almost like Andy Warhol was right.
I mean, I guess, but anyway, I hope they find better things for Hawk Tuah girl to do than go on stage at Zach Bryan's concert. Maybe she'll. I could see her at like college football games, like leading Hawk Tuah chants. What are some things?
If I were her, I would definitely like. If I were her, like management or whatever, I'd be like, all right, we got to send you down like a commentary path. Like, we got to send you down. Like, can you do some kind of like commentary on like a football game for like not a major league or something, like some low level thing where she could be really funny and work her way up to being like a commentator type person. Because I do think that's kind of one of the only areas where she could see like real growth and success, and not just like isn't it funny that you're on stage saying Hawk Tuah or whatever.
Yeah, like they should reboot. Remember that show? I guess you don't remember that show, Hee Haw.
I certainly do not. What the fuck is that?
That was on when I was a kid. But they could reboot Hee Haw and have her. They could call it Hee Hawk Tuah and put her on TV. But I don't know.
Heard that? We could reboot the show I've never heard of and no one's ever heard of because Brad is elderly.
I think the verdict is that she needs professional help at this point. She needs like not psychological help, but like she needs like managers who can like actually help like strategize. Because just like otherwise she's just going to become like a joke, and then it's going to start to feel bad. And you want.
I mean, again, Brad, she is already a joke. That it's not something you really need to worry about. That's kind of the whole thing.
I feel protective of Hawk Tuah. I do. I want to nurture her career.
Okay. Well, so our next story. You want to nurture her career.
Hashtag save Hawk Tuah.
Man, if Hawk Tuah girl ever wants to come on this podcast, we welcome you with open arms. You want to be a
interesting choice of words, but yeah.
I mean, we think you're wonderful, Hawk Tuah girl, and we support you in everything you do.
That's right. That's right.
So, our next story. Victoria Beckham's horny Instagram caption about husband David leaves fans feeling uncomfortable. So, okay, let's see what.
Yeah, what did she say?
I feel like it's not that intense. Is this all it is? So she posted a picture of her and David Beckham, like an older picture from 97. And the caption is Portofino in 1997 was a very, very romantic trip. I remember how excited I was to be there with David for the first time. The intensity of the two of us being together that 48 hours was really amazing. Kisses.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
And by the way, I have way more of a problem with like your average like anniversary or even birthday post on. This is a question that I would pose as an extension of this issue, which I think is a non-issue. Why am I made so uncomfortable when I see people in my Instagram feed posting about A, their anniversary, B, the birthday of their significant other, and like making these really like long, like you're just so special to me and I love you. And like, this has been such a journey together and
Feels
blah, blah.
performative or something a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
or I even get pissed off when people are on their own birthdays. Like it's my birthday today.
That's the worst.
Here's 45. And it's like, why are you doing this? You're just naked.
It's been a crazy year. I've went on a lot of journeys. There's been a lot of pain, but also a lot of growth and success. It's like no one wants to know.
Everyone,
like,
yeah. I feel like this
Tell
is
your
what
therapist.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's sort of secretly eye rolling when people do this. And yet everybody, I guess emotionally, I sort of get it. It's your birthday and like you want people to wish you a happy birthday because it's like birthdays are weird. And I think the older you get, the more like weird they feel because you're like, oh God, I'm closer to dying. Here we go.
You have to make it like a magical thing. Like I'm 45. Like what a beautiful year. It's like no, bitch. It's just like every other year. But you're older. It's the same. Like I don't know. Like I turned 32 recently, and I was like,
32.
I don't like. I literally said to Tyler, like, don't ever throw me a surprise party. It's like the worst present I could possibly get. Like I would hate it so much. Like I don't want people like around me celebrating that. Let alone like an Instagram posts even about like your significant other on their birthday or on like a anniversary do kind of gross me out, and it especially grosses me out when it's about yourself because it's one thing to like write a really like I don't know loving and like smushy post for like your partner. It's still weird and gross, and I still kind of don't like it, and still kind of feels performative.
Why do you have to do it in public? Why do you have to make a big show? Because like I guess like if it's just some really insular Instagram feed and it's like only like your friends, close friends and family who are following you. But like I know most of the people I'm following, like they're writers and they have lots of fans and people like randos following them. And they're sharing this shit with like the world on an open feed. And it's like, yeah, performative. I feel this way even about like Mother's Day and Father's Day posts. Like just don't share sentimental, like open-hearted stuff on my feed. I want nothing but I don't know what I want. I don't want, what do you want to
Brad
see?
has no idea what he wants.
I don't. Not from social media.
People with brain damage posting like really dumb stuff like jorking my peanuts. That's what I want to see pretty much.
I don't. Yeah. What do I like on Instagram? It's mostly advertisements.
Like on the internet at all? That is a question that I have for you.
I don't like much of it. I feel
except you're on it all the time.
That's right. Well, I think we all are, right? And so it's sort of like there's sort of like self-loathing.
But I like it. I'm on it because I like it.
I'm on it because I have like a news addiction. I feel like I'm constantly reading the news.
You like it. You secretly like it. The same way that like a heroin addict likes heroin.
Well, that's like not like a pure like, I think I need to disentangle.
Or it's the purest like there is.
Maybe. I don't know. Feels like there's like some sort of weird dark desire, but it's also like engineered to be addictive and like that dopamine shit is real. And I don't know. I just think that there is a performative aspect to some of this stuff. And then what I also resent is the way that it creates this incentive structure or this like social pressure structure where like when you see one person posting this like really elaborate, heartfelt, like Father's Day shit. It's like, oh, well, then I guess I'm just a awful person if I don't do the same. And so then you see it sort of become a viral thing where everybody's posting these heartfelt posts. And it clearly is happening because they feel a sense of inner pressure in order to perform,
Yeah.
to also be good and heartfelt. And I resist all of that. I won't do it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, my dad is trying to kill me, and he has been since I was a baby. He wants me dead.
Look, I love my dad. My dad's
Culture.
the greatest. My dad's the greatest, but like I'm not like, and you know what? Maybe he would appreciate it. I'll have to ask him if he feels slighted that I've never like posted a picture of him and like written
Every time I see like Mother's Day posts are like annoying also, but like something about Father's Day posts, and no offense, you're a good dad, you're one of the very few, but like people are like, oh, like my dad, he was so nice to me growing up, he was like such a good dad, like blah blah blah. I'm just like, fuck all y'all. Like that, like dads fucking suck. Most of the time they fucking suck. Most of the time they're nothing. Most of the time they're annoying. Like, oh, you had a good dad. Oh, like congratulations.
well, no, this
You
is
didn't have trauma in your childhood.
this is the other part of me this is the other part of it that I don't like is that like everyone who posts one of these things is literally like,
Lying.
lying. They're all lying about how great their dads were. But I feel bad for the people whose dads have passed away. I feel bad for the people who didn't have good dads or whose dads weren't present in their lives as children. Like you're making people feel awful. And I guess like, what can you do? But it just seems like, do we really need to do this? Just wish your dad a happy Father's Day privately. You don't need to
Yeah.
make it into a reality show that just,
Yeah, like, oh, congratulations, you have baby pictures with your dad. Like, oh, that's nice.
yeah, I don't know. Grow up.
Yeah, grow up. Exactly. Grow the fuck up. You don't need a dad. You've grown past the need for a dad.
So I think that this Victoria Beckham post is really innocuous. I even think like,
Yeah, comparatively, it's like nothing.
and it's like, she's a celebrity. They've been married forever. They seem to be survivors as a couple. That's great. And like, if she posts some old picture of them together and what was it, Portofino?
Yeah.
And just like has like a quick reminiscence, it was hardly risque what she said.
No, she was like, it was a great 48 hours, an intense 48 hours or whatever. Like, okay, they were fucking. Like, seems fine.
Good for them. Good for them. She's probably like reminiscing, right? She's like
Yeah.
menopausal and like they're both older. And it's like, I get that. You look back and you're like, oh, we were so young. Like,
Yeah, we were so young. We were just in Sardinia or whatever the fuck. Like,
yeah, good for them.
yeah, exactly. Good for you, Victoria and David. I never want to know you though. You both seem kind of awful. Speaking of dads, and Father's Day and weird dads on Father's Day, the weirdest dad anybody knows, John Bon Jovi.
Wait, is he weird?
I feel like he's weird. Yeah. Is he the one who does like the like weird edging sex stuff?
I have
Where
no
he's like
idea.
he like won't. There's he's somebody else on YouTube that I'm thinking of. I don't even know.
You should really clarify that before you stick that on John Bon Jovi. You're gonna get us.
I feel like I'm thinking of some who's anyone is maybe it's Sting. Is Sting the one who does that?
I don't. He's into like tantric
Yeah,
sex.
I think that's what I'm thinking of. Is like Sting. I'll like not come for months, and then I'll be like, it makes me so focused, like that I haven't come for months or whatever the fuck. It's like you're gonna get prostate cancer. But okay. So okay, the headline here is shirtless John Bon Jovi joins son Jake and daughter-in-law Millie Bobby Brown on honeymoon in Sardinia.
All right. So
So
obvious question is,
what the fuck?
yeah, what the fuck are you doing on your son's honeymoon?
It really fucking weird. Like, John Bon Jovi was recently photographed sunning himself in the Italian island of Sardinia during son Jake Bon Jovi and daughter-in-law Millie Bobby Brown's honeymoon. Now, imagine you're on a honeymoon and your dad shows up shirtless. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I don't. And how old are they? I feel like they're so young. Maybe that's
They're
part of
really
it.
so like Millie Bobby Brown is one of the people who Drake who like made everyone realize that Drake is kind of like maybe a pedophile because he like was texting her when she was like 14 or 13 or something like that. And like they would text all the time and be friends. And like Millie Bobby Brown would talk about it in interviews because she was young and didn't realize that it was weird. And she'd be like, oh, he gives me advice about boys. And everybody's like, yeah, like, I don't know. It's like a little fucking weird. And so, but now I guess Millie Bobby Brown, who I think is 22, marry John Bon Jovi's son. And for some reason,
they need a
Bon Jovi
chaperone.
and his wife were both there. What the fuck? Shirtless. Like, oh, I'm on my honeymoon and here's my shirtless dad.
I cannot think of a married couple that has ever done this that I've heard of, where the parents go on the honeymoon. That seems strange.
Yeah, there's like no scenario in which having your shirtless dad on your honeymoon is normal. I don't understand how you even end up in that situation.
Maybe they're just like a really close family.
Still.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
like
bizarre.
We're going to be in Sardinia. Maybe you guys go. You get your own place. Are they staying in the same place?
I didn't say. I mean, they were on the same beach.
Yeah, that's I can't imagine a scenario where I would have done that. I feel pretty close to my family. I would not want my parents with me on my honeymoon.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like she's wearing shorts that say wifey across the ass. Like,
oh boy, well, they're 12 years old. They got married. These are such young people.
Yeah, they're very, very young people. But just like, why is dad there?
He's a chaperone. That's what it is.
That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. At any age, that's so fucking weird. Like, there's no way you like your dad enough to want him on your honeymoon with your new wife.
I mean, I can't understand what else it would be other than like they're very close.
I guess so. Or like he's like really
controlling. Maybe
yeah.
But I don't feel like, I mean, John Bon Jovi's a rock star. Like, is he really like that? Like type A controlling of his kids?
I mean, he could be.
I guess so.
I don't know. It's really hard to explain him being shirtless at his son's honeymoon. Like, that's like, I don't know. That's psycho shit. That feels vaguely European or something. That feels like some weird shit French people would do.
What, go on the honeymoon with their kids?
Yeah, like it feels like some weird, like, it feels like some weird French shit. I don't know. Like, it feels like.
Or Italian shit. I guess Bon
Yeah, or
Jovi's
Italian shit. Yeah, it could be Italian. Like, it just feels vaguely European in a way that, like, I don't like.
I think maybe it was just like, jealousy. Like, you guys get to go to Sardinia. I want to go to Sardinia.
I want to go to Sardinia.
Yeah. If my daughter gets married and is like, I'm going on my honeymoon. We're going to Sardinia. I'm going to probably be jealous and want to go too, but I don't think I would.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you could just go to Sardinia another time.
That's right.
Or
why
like
go
somewhere else. Like, why do you have to go when your son's honeymoon is happening? Like, what do you want to see on your son's honeymoon?
What would be really interesting is if the son didn't know, and then the parents just showed up.
That would be. I would be so fucking mad.
Yeah. What's John Bon Jovi's son's name? What's his name?
His son's name is Jake.
Yeah, there should be a headline like Jake Bon Jovi, like mortified as parents show up at the same place where he's honeymooning.
That would be a headline that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, Jake Bon Jovi in shock.
Right, I'd be in shock too. Like, why are you here, Dad?
Yeah, I hope that's the case. I hope that's the story. But
God.
I feel like there's a reporter out there who needs to do a deeper dive into why this is, because I've truly never heard of this ever in any context. I've never heard of like parents being on the honeymoon.
I've never heard that. I really do think we need somebody to go deeper into this because it's weird. It's
like Amish,
weird.
Like Amish parents don't go on the honeymoon.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like there's not even like the Christian, like the most hardcore Christian evangelical. I've never heard of like mom and dad going on the honeymoon with the kids.
Never. I've never heard that. Not in the most, not even like the most religious, like nothing. No, it's not normal anywhere.
I'm trying to think of a Bon Jovi song title that I can use as like
I'm trying to think of a Bon Jovi song title and I can't.
You give love a bad name.
Okay. Like Living on a Prayer. Is that Bon Jovi?
Living on a Prayer.
Okay.
What is it? Shot Through the Heart, Bad Medicine. There was a song called Bad Medicine years ago. But see, Bon Jovi was big when I was in junior high.
Yeah, I clearly
distinctly remember.
I'm like looking at Bon Jovi songs. You Give Love a Bad Name. I mean.
Oh wait, what's the one where I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride?
Oh yeah, I'm a cowboy.
Yeah.
Steel horse I ride. I have no idea what it's called.
I want to know if there's anything in the Bon Jovi catalog that might provide clues as to why he's on the honeymoon. Is there a song that he wrote that might like I'll follow you everywhere. Is that a song?
No, I think that
I'll
that's like the
never,
police.
I'll never leave you alone. You'll never know in moment of peace.
Yeah, I'm your dad. I'll always be there. You can't
I'm,
escape me.
I'm your shadow.
Born to be my baby. That's about his child in a disturbing way. I have
All
no
right.
idea.
Honestly, I wish we could get John Bon Jovi on this show just to clarify, or Jake Bon
Yeah.
Jovi. That
Any
feels
or
like,
Millie Bobby Brown. I mean, any of them to just like a little clarity on this would be really, really helpful.
I feel like we deserve clarity on this
Yeah, I
because
think
it's
so
so
too.
strange. I don't think it's something that's like outside. This is not outside the box, but it's not out of bounds to want to know why you
Yeah.
were on your son's honeymoon.
No, I don't think like at this point, like there's been a headline about him being on his son's honeymoon, so I think we deserve to know why. Like if that headline was never there, then okay, private shit, whatever. But we all know that Bon Jovi was shirtless on a beach during your honeymoon, and now we need to know why.
How did he look shirtless? He's an older guy. He still
He's,
fit?
I mean, not great. He looks kind of leathery.
You know who's my hero? I'm obsessed with is Lenny Kravitz. I cannot get over how that man is aging. I'm obsessed with
He
it.
really is aging really well. And my favorite thing that Lenny Kravitz has ever done is when he was on stage and he like did this move where like his legs went apart like this and his pants just split down the middle and his whole wang came flopping out while he was on stage.
He is 60. He just turned 60 years old.
He's hot.
I've never seen a 60-year-old human being in my entire life who looks better than he does
That is
at
like
age
maybe
60.
the hottest family in America and possibly the world. Like, I mean, those kids, that is just like they're all so fucking attractive. It's shocking.
Yeah, I'm like, how does Lenny do this? He eats only a vegan diet, mostly raw. He doesn't use any like industrial products at all. So like everything's natural. He's got to be able to eat it. So like he uses Castile soap to wash his hair, to wash his clothes. He doesn't use any conventional
It's
shampoos.
genetics. This is all genetic. Because if I did this, I would look insane and 1,000 times worse than I do right now.
I think it's partially genetics, but he also works out with like a pro trainer and
That's
like,
yeah. I think the
I mean,
working out, like the exercise, the like private chef, like the genetics. I think all of that kind of adds up to what he has.
but I believe that I could also like look like that at sick. Like there's some part of me. I know I couldn't, but like there's some part of me that's like convinced. Like maybe if I just eat like, and he grows his own food. Like he grows his own food. He's probably got gardeners who just like
Yeah.
tend to his like bring him his like heads of lettuce like on a
Well, and
silver.
the other thing about Lenny Kravitz that nobody wants to admit is that he's gotten work done. They all have. Anybody who looks that good at 60 has had some work done. He's just had really, really good work done.
You think?
Absolutely.
Oh.
100%. You just need to find his surgeon or his, injectionist or whatever the fuck.
Is Zoe Kravitz married yet? Is he going to go on her honeymoon? Is this a new thing?
I don't think she's married yet. Is she Zoe Kravitz?
I have no idea.
Married? Oh yeah, she's been married since 2016.
To whom?
Carl Glusman? Glusman?
Really? Why did I think she was dating Channing Tatum?
She was dating Channing Tatum.
When?
Oh, she got divorced. So they got married in 2016. She got divorced in 2020, and then she started dating Channing Tatum in 2021.
Oh, so I'm right.
Yeah.
Look at me. I know something you don't know.
Look at you. You got it. That's impressive.
Oh my God. I feel like it's a moment of personal growth. But
yeah, it's an achievement.
I don't know. I feel like Lenny Kravitz could potentially, like, I think I would feel self-conscious if I was married to Zoe Kravitz, that I would go on my honeymoon and my father-in-law would look better than me in a swimsuit.
I mean,
which he would. He would be. Yeah. It would just be like no contest. He'd just look fantastic, and I'd just be like pale and freckled, just ugh.
Imagine having to stand next to Lenny Kravitz on a beach. I'd kill myself. I mean, yeah, that's fucking rough. That's rough. Like, I almost can't think of a worst case scenario. Like he's like maybe the most attractive 60-year-old that I can think of.
That's what I'm saying. I think, and in human history. He's breaking ground. Like,
Yeah, like,
and for anybody listening who like isn't tuned into the Lenny Kravitz like social media world or whatever, like go look at a picture of this motherfucker at age 60 and tell me he looks like he's 24 years
it's
old.
fucking insane. And like, if
He's
any listeners have anybody else who they think looks as good as Lenny Kravitz at age 60, please let us know, and we will examine and respond.
yeah, I've gotten to the point where I looked up his workout routine. Like I truly
Wow,
was
you're
like,
in it. You're like, I'm gonna be Lenny Kravitz.
I'm like, what is, I don't have any illusions that I'm going to look like he does. Cause I think some of it's genetic, but like I do like whatever he's doing is working. Like it's working. Like he
He's
wouldn't
got a
look nearly,
good dermatologist. He's got a good facialist. Like,
but I think he's like all natural. It's like shea butter and fucking whatever, like aloe. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
it's
not
all
using.
natural until you need like a little Botox here for, this or for this or whatever. And then you need like, a little, I mean, facials, that can be all natural. It's mostly extraction. Like,
All right, I need to get one.
yeah, we should both get facials on you. You pay.
Okay. How much do they cost? I don't even know.
I don't even know either. I want to say like $100 or something like that.
Well, if we make some ad revenue, we'll cash in our huge check from this show, and we'll go out and see a beautician. Is that who does facials? A beautician, an esthetician?
I think it's an esthetician. Yeah.
All right.
So, you guys pay us, Brad and I will get facials. We'll live stream it. I mean, hell, why not?
All right. What else is happening?
So, okay. So, oh God, what an annoying fucking story. Lauren Sanchez goes jet skiing with Jeff Bezos, and Kim Kardashian will hang out on a mega yacht in Greece. Now, you know how like orcas have been sinking boats, have
Yeah.
been working as teams to sink boats? I just think that they should take a trip to Greece and sink a certain mega yacht that contains Jeff Bezos and Kim Kardashian and Lauren Sanchez. I just think it might be a good idea for them.
What is the rationale that I guess they just don't give a fuck? They're just like, I want a yacht, so I'm going to have one, and I'm a billionaire, and I can have whatever I want. Or
Correct.
is there like some logistical, like I'm Jeff Bezos and I'm at like a security risk at all times, or a perceived
For a
security risk?
boat? No.
But so I like, if I'm staying at a hotel, it's just too much because people will be swarming me, or I could be under some sort of threat. It's safer for me to be on a private yacht. Like I feel
He's
like
not staying
celebrities
on
often.
a private yacht.
What's that?
There's no way he's staying on the yacht. He definitely is staying at a hotel.
Oh, he is. And then he just gets on the yacht to like
Famous people
cruise
don't stay
around.
on their yachts. They just go there to cruise around and have fun and then go back to their hotel.
Why do they have a fucking yacht? The yacht's got like master suites and helicopter pads and shit. They don't stay on it?
Well, sometimes perverts have it so that they can like, do pervert shit on the ocean, and like nobody can escape because they're on the ocean, similar to Epstein's plane. And then there's like the phenomenon of yachting that people refer to, which is just sex work by another name. You'll see sometimes like Lindsay Lohan was a big topic of this for a while when she was living in, I think, Greece actually, and she'd be seen on like, in bikinis on like big boats owned by various like billionaires or whatever rich people, and like people would say like, oh, she's yachting, and the idea is that like she's basically being paid to be on this yacht with this rich person wearing this bikini, looking hot, possibly having sex with them behind the scenes, possibly not, mostly just to kind of make this rich person look like, oh, I've got hot bikini girls around me all the time. And so I think like oftentimes you'll see like a dude on a mega yacht with like a bunch of like hot looking like B-C list celebrity girls, and like that's kind of what's happening. But in this case, I think they just wanted to be on a mega yacht in the ocean, and it's like if they're going to go on a boat in the water, it's going to be a mega yacht no matter what, I guess.
Mira knows so much about this, ladies and gentlemen, that she is she's going to write a book called Pervert Shit on the Ocean.
That's right. Pervert shit on the ocean, pervert shit in the air. I mean, perverts love shit where you can't escape.
I just don't like the whole scene. I think the yachting scene is really creepy, and it feels like the most egregious, like flaunting expenditure, and like the flaunting of wealth, and like just an unnecessary expenditure.
An display of wealth.
Yeah, and they always got to hang out together. Why does Jeff Bezos is like trying to be this celebrity now? It's like, dude, you're not a celebrity.
Stupid. It's like if you have $1 billion, the only way to like keep that money and have everybody like not want to burn your house down is by like shutting the fuck up. Like, the richest people on the planet are people who shut the fuck up. And Jeff Bezos, like, was pretty good at that for a minute. And now he's like, oh, wait, like, Musk is famous. And, like, what if Kim Kardashian wants to hang out with me? And I've got a hot young wife now. Like, I could be a celebrity and a billionaire. And it's like, no, motherfucker, you have to pick one.
Is
Otherwise,
his wife hot?
I mean, his wife is, like, hot for somebody who's married to Jeff Bezos. You know, like, she's, like, hot for, like, she's out of Jeff Bezos's league. But she's, like, very,
Jeff Bezos' ex-wife is the one who's actually giving away all the money.
That's
like,
right.
She's the hot one.
Yeah, she's like, I totally agree. And, like, I mean, his new wife is very plastic surgery looking. She's got a weird plastic surgery face in a big way. His other wife was prettier and, like, seems cooler for giving away all of his money. Like, I'm into that. That's, like, what you should be doing.
It's just really, I think it's just obvious. It's really fucking hard to be normal, like a normal human being. If you get, like, super rich and super famous, you just become, like, and it doesn't happen all at once. It happens over time. But, like, all of a sudden you look up and you're like, wow, like, Jeff Bezos is all ripped and walking around with this new wife and hanging out with the Kardashians. You're like, what happened to this guy?
It's just like, I mean, what happened to this guy? He's always been a fucking monster. It's like, you'd never become Jeff Bezos unless you're a fucking monster for your entire life. So I don't think anything happened to him that turned him this way. I think he's just always been this way. But it does seem recent that he seemed like he was, like, a real, like, pursuer of, like, success and wealth in, like, a very intense way. And now he seems to want people to like him, which seems new and gross. And, like, get the fuck over it, dude. Like, you have $1 bajillion. Like, you chose to have people not like you by choosing to have that much money.
Well, no, but just, like, if you want people to like you, just do good works. Like, keep a relatively low profile and just do good works.
Yeah.
Like, just eradicate homelessness in Seattle or some shit. Like, do good works.
But
like,
that's not how you become as rich as Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, I don't get, but it's like, dude, if you want to be liked, I can counsel you on that. I bet I know.
He wants to be cool, you know, like, he, like, wants to, like, be able to have that, like, coolness of, like, celebrities without actually having to, like, give away his money.
It's so weird. It's such, like, it's not cool. Like, it's like, by the way, like, hang out with Kim Kardashian in Greece is not cool.
On a mega yacht. Like, it's not cool. Like, it makes everybody fucking hate your ass.
Yeah. Like, what would be cool? Like, I'm trying to think of, like, a celebrity interaction that would make Jeff Bezos actually cool.
I don't think there is one. I think he would have to do what you're saying of, like, really, like, working hard to, like, eradicate homelessness and doing all kinds of shit, give away half his money. Like, there's kind of no celebrity interaction that would seem cool.
I think if he did a reenactment of David Lynch, if he got together with David Lynch and did a reenactment of the conversation that David Lynch had with Harry Dean Stanton about there not being any kind of self. Remember that? Yeah. But, like, Jeff Bezos would play the Harry Dean Stanton role. Like, that could potentially win me over a little bit.
That would make me even angrier at Jeff Bezos. It would make me hate him even more. Like, how dare you jump into the place of Harry Dean Stanton and say those iconic lines. Like,
and then you find out that Jeff Bezos bought the rights to
oh god.
Harry, and, like, now it's Harry Dean Stanton's entire existence is owned by Amazon AI.
They're gonna start making like Paris, Texas 2 and just with AI.
Just Harry Dean Stanton AI, just leading you through the Amazon marketplace.
Paris, Texas 2 is like his girlfriend taking revenge and just killing Harry Dean Stanton.
Just seems so fucked up. What else is going on? I want to stop talking about Jeff Bezos. It's giving me the creeps. Yeah.
So, okay, Tori Spelling, another rich person, another Nepo baby.
Yeah, let's ease out of the Jeff Bezos creepiness
to the Spelling family creepiness.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tori Spelling confesses to keeping 3 of her placentas, with 1 in a friend's freezer. A lot of questions here. So, like, first of all, she kept placentas from 3 different births. And why did she keep 1 in a friend's freezer?
I'm like, who is this friend? I'm not keeping anybody's. I don't care what they say. I'm not keeping your placenta in my freezer.
Doing that. Like, no way.
I've seen a placenta. Like, childbirth is a miracle. Like, don't get me wrong, but, like, placentas are these, like, gelatinous, blobby discs. They look sort of like flying saucers, but they're just, like, bloody purple nightmares. Yeah.
I mean, also, like, from what I understand, if you're like a rich fucking weirdo and you want to eat your placenta, there's like, what you do is you give your placenta to a company or a person and they dry it out and they make it into pills for you to take, which is horrific. But like, why didn't Tori Spelling do that? Why is she keeping 3 placentas in her freezer? And like, isn't keeping a placenta in a freezer for 3 years going to take away its supposed health benefits anyways?
I don't think so. Maybe it preserves it, but I feel like I'm not sold on eating placenta is good for you.
Well, there's no scientific backing that it is. Like, there's no proof that eating placenta actually is good for you.
You know that?
I mean, from what I just Googled, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. Chris, the top 3 hits on Google indicate that there's nothing scientifically verified about this. And like,
the top 5 hits.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, people get carried away. And I think sometimes too, it's like this thing where people feel like they're the first person on earth who ever like had a child or something.
It's so fucking weird.
They're so impressed with their biology that they're like, I got to save this, keep it in my, and
like,
by the way, my freezer is so filled with placenta.
Yeah, my friend has to keep it.
Yeah, I've got to go next door to the neighbor and be like, got a freezer in your garage? I could keep this thing.
Okay, this is fucking insane. So, Tori Spelling's manager questioned how long the placentas had been stored. And Tori Spelling, who is the mother of Liam, 17, Stella, 16, Hattie, 12, Finn, 11, and Bo, 7, didn't know the answer, as she remains unsure to which children the placentas are linked.
Yeah, imagine if you're one of the kids who mom didn't save your placenta. How do you feel about that?
I mean,
probably better.
Yeah, I'd probably be like, thank God mom threw my placenta away.
Yeah, she must actually love me. She must have a thing for you. She must actually favor me if she got rid of my placenta.
She says, okay, we move a lot, so unfortunately a couple got lost. How do you lose a placenta?
Yeah, this is, and like who, and by the way, who found it?
Yeah, what? Your movers lost your placenta? Like, it's not like a fucking tchotchke. Like, what the fuck?
And like, if it's not frozen, it's going to be rotting, right?
She said, I imagine they got lost or left at a rental. Imagine you open up a freezer and it's Tori Spelling's placenta. That would be interesting to put on eBay.
Do you know? Yeah, I was going to say, do you know how much money that thing is probably worth? A Spelling placenta?
What in the fuck? She's just leaving her placentas all over the damn place.
If I found a placenta in my rental unit, I would sue.
I would sue. Especially if I found out it was Tori Spelling's placenta, I would sue the shit out of her.
Yeah, I would sue.
I would get the biggest out-of-court settlement you've ever heard of.
Sell it back to her at a premium so she can eat it.
Exactly.
There you go. You can make it into a smoothie, but it's going to cost you.
It's like, if you ever heard that, or did you ever watch that documentary about the guy's leg? He had to have his leg amputated, and he has to keep the leg. And then somehow it ended up being sold at a garage sale inside of a grill that somebody bought. They opened up the grill and there was like a mummified leg inside this grill, which led to like a years-long legal battle between the guy who bought the grill and the leg and the guy who the leg belongs to about like the custody of the leg. And they like fought it out really, really hard.
What the fuck? Just give the guy his leg back.
And this guy was not going to give his leg back.
That's right. Well, and I would not give the placenta back either.
See, there you go.
That's right.
Well, there you go.
Once I sign that lease.
I just, like, I don't understand why she's keeping them for so long. Like, you either eat them or you don't. Why are you just, like, saving them?
I think people are, I think it's a hoarder thing. I think it's, yeah, she's hoarding placentas. And I think that, I think it's part of this, like so impressed with the fact that I gave birth, you know, that my body can do this, which, like, you know, I get that on a certain level, but you got to let go at a, you know, usually when you leave the hospital.
But it's not like, it's impressive, but it's not like attractive per se. It's not like, not that it has to be attractive, but like it's magical, but it also like hurts and sucks and is like kind of like terrible. Like, you get a baby in the end, and that's the good part.
But I remember like the placenta. I remember seeing the placenta. It's like it kind of falls out. It's so gross. And they comes out, and then like they put it in like a plastic bin, and you're just like, oh, there it is. And I'm just like, ugh. And then they take it out. I have no idea what happened to it.
Yeah, that just seems some kind of thing that, like, as a nurse, you just put it in the bin and you take it out so like people don't have to see it. Like, get rid of that shit.
Like, that's a crazy thing to think about. Hospitals, like, what do they do with all that stuff? There's so much stuff.
I would never want to eat any part of my body, to be totally honest. Like, nothing that comes out of me is something I want to eat ever.
No.
Under any circumstances, unless I'm gonna die.
Yeah, if like you were starving.
Yeah, I'd maybe drink my own piss if I was like on a desert island and gonna die.
Yeah, or like, but I mean, like, would you ever get to the point where like you try to cut off one? Like, if you had like a machete and you're on a desert island and you're dying, would you cut your arm off and try to eat? And you knew that like a boat might come by in like a week, but you're gonna die if you didn't eat. You probably would try to eat your own arm. Like,
and there's no other food anywhere else. Like, there's
nothing.
No fish or berries or leaves.
Well, there's fish. I mean, you could go into the water, but maybe there's, they're not biting, or you can't like grab them with your hands, like Tom Hanks did in that movie.
True. I mean, I would really try hard to fish before I cut my own arm off. Like, for sure, I would be like out there many hours before I also, like, can you survive from eating your own arm? Like, I think that like your body like be putting so much energy into like the arm being cut off that like the energy you get from eating it like wouldn't do anything. It's like eating ice, how that doesn't actually like quench your thirst.
It would probably be like neutral benefit.
Yeah,
because you'd be bleeding out while you're eating.
Right. Like the energy that you would get from eating would be like all put to your arm having been cut off.
Yeah. How did we get here? What is this? Oh, this is the Tori Spelling did this to us with this placenta.
Oh, yeah. It's all Tori Spelling's fault. That's true.
Well, I mean, it's like, I think she should, what should she do with them? Let's finish here.
Throw
I think
them away.
Or compost them. I think composting.
Yeah, sure. Compost them.
Yeah. Compost, put it in the green bin and move on with your life.
Let the trash guy handle it.
Yeah. The trash guy's gonna be like, oh my God. What is that smell?
Someone.
Yeah, just the middle of summer. There's 3 placentas just rotting in your green bin.
Oh my God. And like being like a doctor having to be like, do you want to keep your placenta? Every time I'd be so pissed. I'd be like, do you want to keep your placenta? Like, like, why do they always do this?
I don't think anybody asked us. If they did, it was a quick no.
That's like, what? Good. I feel like you shouldn't get asked. It seems like the kind of thing you should just immediately put into like hazardous waste and call it a day.
Just like, yeah, thank God. Like the baby's here. Like, move on.
Yeah, let's never think about this birth again. This fucking sucked.
All right. Well, what else is in the news? Are we done? What do we have?
We have one last story, which is about Drake and Rick Ross.
Wait, is this is Brad Learns? Because I don't know who Rick Ross is fully.
Oh, Brad Learns. Let's play the music.
But finds a way. Time was fast, can't understand.
Here we go. Brad Learns.
All right, welcome to our Brad Learns segment. So today's Brad Learns segment centers around a story which happened somewhere in Canada. I don't know. Drake fans ambushed Rick Ross after he plays a Kendrick Lamar diss track at a Canadian music festival.
Wait, the Canadians did not. Canadians, like, that's Drake is their boy, right? So
yeah. They're like, Drake's our boy. He's, from Toronto. Like, we love Drake. So, like, fuck you for playing a diss track against him, which we talked about this last time with the Kendrick diss tracks against Drake. It was probably the one where he called him the pedophile or whatever.
Who is Rick Ross though? I hear this name. He's like a producer.
He's like a rapper. He's like less of a producer. He's a rapper. And so just to say, at this festival, I guess he got off the stage at 10:30 and was immediately confronted with a group of about 15 men who formed a human wall around Rick Ross and his crew to prohibit them from getting away.
By the way, I feel like the name Rick Ross is like a very unlikely rapper name. It sounds like your shop teacher in junior high.
He's Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. Is he a black guy?
Yeah, he's a black
named Rick Ross?
Named Rick Ross. I believe that's his... Okay, William Leonard Roberts is his real name.
All right.
But he goes by Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. I just feel like that's just not the rapper name that I'm used to.
I know. It's a weird one for sure. I mean, he's a weird rapper. He's like, when he first started, he was really, really overweight. He was gigantic. And now he's not, which is like a weird thing for me always to see him be like normal. He's like there's like a couple of things that make me dislike Rick Ross. Generally speaking, he's like a rapper who people like. I'm probably like not describing him very well. Like, he's, like, done a bunch of shit that's, like, important for the rap world. Like, fucking... I don't even know.
Rick.
Oh, he, like, I guess Puff Daddy is the one who, like, first signed him. And he did a single with R. Kelly. Oh my god, he's just like done a million things with a bunch of people who are canceled.
I was gonna say he's keeping good company, clearly.
Yeah, wow. The thing about Rick Ross that mainly I don't like is that he was, before he was a rapper, he was a police officer in like a prison. Like, he was like a, what do you call that? Like a police officer who works as like security in a prison.
Like a corrections, or what do you call it?
Yeah, he was like a corrections officer. Which like I don't know how people fucking get past that part and are just like, oh, Rick Ross is cool. Like, he had an 18-month stint as a correctional officer at the South Florida Reception Center.
What's wrong with that?
He was a cop.
Oh, Mira hates cops in every form.
Yeah, it's a fucking ACAP includes Rick Ross. Sorry. It does.
What is ACAP again? What are you talking about? How does it? It's like a what do you call it? It's an acronym.
Yeah, you don't know what it stands for?
I've heard. What is it? ACAP, against cops, against police.
It's all cops are bastards.
Oh, ACAB.
Yeah, ACAB.
There's a police officer in my my little district, and I gotta say, he's a lovely man. You would like him. His name, he's retiring, but he's like a sweet, like, I think he's part of maybe a system that is problematic, but I don't think all cops are bad. They're not all bad people, but you think they are.
I mean, you know what my answer is to this.
Yeah, I feel like you've told me about this many times. Like, your entire family history, like you're under obligation. I was gonna say you're under obligation to just hate cops, like in a blanket way.
I mean, there is one thing that every member of my family on all sides can get along on, and I literally mean one thing. Everybody will disagree on anything else, and that is we don't like cops. My dad, my Mexican grandpa, my grandpa who's not Mexican, my grandma, my great-grandma, my great-grandpa, my other grandma, like every single one of them will say, like, yeah, we don't like cops. It's the only thing.
It brings you together.
It's the only thing that brings us together.
Around the Thanksgiving dinner table, or...
I swear to God, if it's like there's like a tense conversation happening at Thanksgiving dinner, it can just be like, I saw a cop the other day being a dick, and everyone's like, man, fuck that guy, like, that fucking sucks. And like suddenly we're all friends again.
So Rick Ross, having been like a security guard at a prison, he's canceled for you.
Security guard. He was like one of the worst kinds of cops that can be a cop. Like, a correctional officer is a very bad type of cop.
Because he's he's like parole, or like what? He's patrolling a prison. Yeah,
with prison. I mean, like, those are the cops who do horrific things to prisoners and like end up in lawsuits in jail about it. Not that Rick Ross didn't do that, but like,
hey, I saw Shawshank Redemption. I know what happens.
See, exactly, you get it. I mean, he's like I don't know. People seem to like forgive him. He initially denied that the photograph was of him when people first found like his correctional officer portrait or whatever the fuck, and then eventually he was like, okay, yeah, it is me.
That's like bad for the brand. If you're going to be a rapper and you come out as having been a cop, it's bad for the brand.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's bad for the brand.
But Rick Ross, he played this diss track. He was trying to be provocative, and then the Canadians encircled him. But I feel like Canadians are mild-mannered. I feel like Canadians are mild-mannered. What are they encircled him and like politely asked him to leave, or?
I mean, yeah, they encircled him and they were like, hey, sorry.
Yeah, hey.
Hey, sorry, eh?
Hey, Rick, what's the big idea? What's the deal, eh? Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
We're trying to enjoy a rap concert with our boy Drake.
Saskatoon? So I guess they encircled him, and the two groups began arguing while the diss track played in the background, and then the verbal confrontation escalated quickly. And one man got into Rick Ross's face and then punched him in the head.
Oh, wow.
At which point, all-out brawl began, with men from both groups kicking and punching one another until one of them ended up on the ground.
Jesus, I didn't realize it got this bad.
Yeah, it was a I guess another angle shows Rick Ross's security stepping in to shield him after the initial blow and then escorting him away. So it was basically a fight between these people and Rick Ross's security by the end.
What a bunch of like juvenile
over
fools.
Someone else's rap beef. Like who? Like over Drake. You're really gonna get in a physical fight with Rick Ross over Drake.
The whole thing is so absurd. And like, again, it's like a cultural indicator of like the decline of Western civilization that like this is happening.
I mean, I don't know. Tupac was shot in like 92. It's been happening.
I mean, but we've been on this trajectory. So, you know, it's like, it's not like it's this long arc, but it's like, I guess maybe there were like beefs. Like, did the Rat Pack have beefs? I guess they probably did. I don't fucking know.
Rap beef. I mean, Biggie and Tupac both died in rap
No,
beef.
I meant the Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. Like, did they have beefs with other pop stars? Or like, when did this happen? The grown men are like writing poems about each other and like making mean songs about each other.
I mean, it's happened in the rap world. Like, I don't think it's happened with like white people like who were hanging out like or whatever. It's like happened like amongst like it's like a rap world thing.
And it's like the Swiftie thing. It's like the Swiftie thing, though. Then these fan bases get activated and they want to like get violent on behalf of their preferred rapper.
Yeah, because they're like, Drake is not a pedophile and let's fight about it.
Grow up. I mean, it's so silly. It's so silly.
And like over Drake, of all people, like you're not even fighting for somebody cool. You're not even like fighting like for somebody who everyone likes. You're like fighting for the pedophile guy that everybody like isn't on the side of.
I'll fight for Oprah.
I won't. I'll fight for like John Waters.
Let Oprah's sexuality be her private business. And if anybody out there,
there are very few celebrities I would fight for at all. I'd fight for John Waters.
I don't know who.
I literally can't think of anybody else.
That's it. Trying to think of
the Hadid family. I like the Hadid family. They're good.
Do you? You like them?
Yeah, since the Palestine thing, they've been dope. But we're not talking about politics. But I like the Hadids. They're cool.
I'm trying to think. Maybe Harry Dean Stanton is mine.
Yeah, he's dead, but yeah.
I'd fight for the ghost of Harry Dean.
Yeah, I'd fight for the ghost of Harry Dean for sure. I'd fight for David Lynch, but like there's other people to fight for him. I don't think he needs me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Mira, I'm grateful to you for explaining to me who Rick Ross is.
Vaguely.
And, I feel like I've learned a lot, and I feel like we've all learned a lot today in this episode. I want to mention that it's the 4th of July. I don't know if I mentioned this at the top, but if not, there will be no 4th of July show. Enjoy your holiday. And thank you for listening to Brad and Mira for the Culture. Mira, happy 4th.
Happy 4th and down with America.